The sun blazed with an intensity that seemed to set the very air on fire. It beat down relentlessly on the golden sands of an ancient land, a land steeped in history and mystery. This was Egypt, a land forged by the mighty Nile, a river that carved its way through the desert, bringing life to an otherwise barren landscape. The river, a serpent of life, snaked through the desert, its waters a lifeline for the people who lived along its banks. It nourished the land, bringing lifeblood to a parched earth. Here, a civilization blossomed, one that would leave an indelible mark on history. The ancient Egyptians revered the Nile. They understood its power and its importance. It was more than just a river. It was the very essence of their existence. They built their lives around its rhythm, planting their crops according to its floods and harvesting its bounty. From its fertile banks rose magnificent cities, testaments to human ingenuity and the ability to thrive in harmony with nature. Towering over all were the pyramids, eternal sentinels against the ravages of time, standing tall and proud against the backdrop of the desert. These colossal structures, tombs for the pharaohs, spoke of a civilization at its zenith, a people who could command the very stones to rise in their honor. The pyramids were more than just tombs. They were repositories of knowledge filled with hieroglyphs that told the stories of gods and men. They were symbols of Egyptian might, a testament to their architectural prowess and their ability to achieve the seemingly impossible. They were a statement to the heavens, a declaration of their enduring legacy, reaching up to the stars as if to touch the divine. The pharaohs, rulers with divine authority, governed this land with an iron hand, their word law, their power absolute. Their decrees shaped the lives of their subjects, and their vision built an empire that would stand the test of time. For millennia, Egypt flourished, a beacon of civilization in a world shrouded in darkness. Its achievements in art, science and architecture were unparalleled, and its legacy continues to inspire awe and wonder to this day. Eastward, nestled between two great rivers, lay another cradle of civilization. This fertile crescent, often referred to as the land between rivers, was the birthplace of many firsts in human history. Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates, was a crucible of innovation. It was here that humanity took some of its earliest steps towards organized society. Here, under the scorching sun, the Sumerians built their city-states. These city-states, such as Uruk and Ur, were bustling centers of trade, culture and governance. They were pioneers, developing writing. The invention of cuneiform script allowed them to record transactions, stories and laws, marking the dawn of recorded history, mathematics and law. Their contributions to mathematics included the creation of a base 60 number system, which we still use today to measure time and angles. From their midst rose Hammurabi, a king of Babylon. His reign marked a significant chapter in Mesopotamian history. He sought to unify the warring city-states. Through diplomacy and conquest, he brought much of Mesopotamia under his control. His code of laws, etched into stone, was a landmark achievement. It was one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes, setting standards for justice and fairness. It established justice in a land often ruled by conflict. The code covered various aspects of daily life, from trade to family relations, ensuring order in society. But even the mighty walls of Babylon could not withstand the relentless march of time. The grandeur of the city began to fade as internal and external pressures mounted. Internal strife and external pressures weakened Mesopotamia. The once unified city-states began to fracture, and the region became vulnerable to outside forces. Invaders swept across the land, leaving destruction in their wake. The once great cities crumbled under the weight of successive invasions, each wave eroding the foundations of their civilization. The sands of time, indifferent to the rise and fall of empires, eventually buried the remnants of their civilization. Today, the ruins of Mesopotamia stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era, reminding us of the impermanence of human achievements. Across the shimmering waters of the Aegean Sea, a new power began to rise. one that would leave an indelible mark on the annals of history. Ancient Greece, a land of rugged mountains and sun-drenched islands, was a breeding ground for ideas and innovation. Its unique geography fostered independent city-states, each with its own distinct culture and governance. This was the age of philosophers, where the pursuit of knowledge and wisdom was paramount. Socrates, Plato and Aristotle, three towering figures of ancient thought, challenged conventional wisdom and sought to understand the world through reason and inquiry. Their ideas, revolutionary in their scope, laid the foundation for Western thought, influencing countless generations to come. The Greeks were a passionate people, deeply engaged in the arts, politics and daily life. They expressed their vigour and competitive spirit in athletic competitions, which were an integral part of their culture. The Olympic Games, a grand celebration of human strength and spirit, united the fiercely independent city-states in a rare display of unity and camaraderie. In Athens, the seeds of democracy took root, a radical experiment in governance that would shape the future of political thought. Citizens gathered in the agora, the heart of public life, debating the issues of the day and participating in the decision-making process. They believed in the power of the people, a radical concept in an era dominated by kings and emperors, where the voice of the common man was rarely heard. But even in the cradle of democracy, conflict was inevitable. The city-states, each fiercely proud and independent, often found themselves at odds. Rivalry between Athens and Sparta, two titans vying for supremacy, led to the devastating Peloponnesian War, a conflict that would change the course of Greek history. This prolonged and brutal conflict weakened the Greek world, leaving it vulnerable to external forces. Ultimately, it paved the way for conquest by the rising power of Rome, which would absorb and transform the legacy of Greece into its own burgeoning empire. Section 4. The weight of power, Rome's inevitable decline. From the heart of the Italian peninsula, Rome rose to prominence. Its legions, disciplined and ruthless, conquered vast territories. The Roman Empire, a vast tapestry of cultures and peoples, stretched from the British Isles to the borders of Persia. Rome was a city of grandeur. Its emperors, worshipped as gods, ruled from opulent palaces. The Colosseum, a monument to Roman engineering, hosted gladiatorial contests that captivated the masses. The Senate, Rome's governing body, debated matters of war and peace. But beneath the veneer of power lay the seeds of decay. Corruption, decadence, and overexpansion weakened the empire from within. Barbarian tribes, sensing Roman weakness, launched increasingly bold attacks. The once mighty empire, burdened by its own weight, fractured and ultimately collapsed. Section 5. Whispers in the Wind, the enigma of the Indus. Far to the east, another civilization flourished. The Indus Valley civilization, a contemporary of Egypt and Mesopotamia, remains shrouded in mystery. Its cities, Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, were marvels of urban planning. They boasted sophisticated drainage systems and impressive brick architecture. Their script remains undeciphered, leaving archaeologists to piece together their story from fragmented remains. What we do know hints at a sophisticated culture. They were skilled artisans, traders and city dwellers. Then, around 1900 BCE, the Indus civilization mysteriously declined. The reasons for their disappearance remain a subject of debate, a reminder that even the greatest civilizations are not immune to the vicissitudes of fate.